Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of Gettysburg Great Moments. I'm Jen Maurer, Assistant Director of Athletic Communications, and today we're looking at May 26, 2016, the NCAA Division III Outdoor Track and Field Championships. And joining us to talk about that memorable experience is Andre Hinds, who was a 2016 graduate of Gettysburg College and a member of the men's track and field team. Well, first off, Andre, you had an unbelievable career as you finished as the Gettysburg record holder, the Centennial Conference record holder, and the discus, both records which still stand today. I looked prior to this. You were a two-time conference champion, four-time conference medalist, and a two-time national qualifier. So before we talk about that glorious day back in 2016, I want to kind of take it back. When you were a freshman walking on campus, was it your goal early on to be and go to nationals, or was it more of a goal as you got into your junior and senior year?
Well, so when I first walked into track practice with Coach Shank during the winter indoor season, he actually had us go through in our first team meeting and write down what we wanted to get out of the program. And on that little slip of paper, I wrote down that I wanted to graduate as an All-American. And I remember he actually pulled me aside afterwards and he was like, "Are you sure this is what you want to go for? Because that's a big commitment." And I said, "Absolutely." So it was really something I pushed for since that day.
And so you had the opportunity as a junior, you went to nationals. How was that experience for you? You finished 16th overall.
Yeah, so I think in 2015, as I was getting ready for my first run at the national championships, everything was really clicking and it felt like, nothing could go wrong. And then, of course, I want to say it was one of my last practice throws on campus before we went up to New York. I felt a tweak in my quad and just really couldn't put anything together on the day of, which was just too bad. But overall, still really appreciated the experience and getting to spend some time with not just teammates, but also, competitors and athletes who had also worked really hard to get to that same stage.
And so heading into your senior year, was the 16th place finish at nationals as a junior motivation for you to go back as a senior and become an All-American?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Finishing 16th was definitely something that stuck in my mind. I don't remember exactly where I was projected to finish, but I want to say I was in the top 5 or so going into that weekend. So I really wanted to make sure that I was, taking everything as seriously as I could throughout the year, and then also making sure to not, you know, risk injury or anything like that in meets where it didn't quote unquote count as much. So really wanted to save everything up for that last run.
Where were you when you found out that you had clinched a spot to attend nationals again your senior year? And how did that moment feel for you?
Yeah, so I was on campus for sure, and I think again kind of had a really good year throughout. So I wasn't necessarily super surprised by making it. It was more a feeling of now I have to make sure that all the work I've put in actually pays off. And those were, conversations that I had with Coach Hartzler and Coach Shank and the entire training staff in terms of how do we make sure that I'm going to be prepared going into this. So yeah, it was a really good feeling though.
When it came to the day that you were going to throw the discus, did you change any routine or did you kind of keep it similar?
No, I kept everything like I'm not normally a superstitious person, but I really just tried to keep to myself, headphones on at all times, just really find that zone and stay there for the entire day. And it was thankfully something that seemed to work out.
Yeah, I think you did pretty well there with clinching the All-American spot with an eighth place finish. But so was there a difference as well from your junior year to senior year when you attended the nationals? Did you feel more calm? Did the nerves still kick in, or was it more excitement, or was it something completely different?
No, I think it was definitely second time around, felt more calm, which funny enough was very similar to experience I had in high school in that I made it to the state championship in high school my junior year and did awful. And then went again my senior year and did much, much better. So it was almost repeating that same thing of, once you're used to the stage, just making it all come together.
And so when it came to that day as well, how were the conditions? Was it nice and sunny? Was it cloudy? Was it raining?
So it was not nice and sunny. It was a pretty rough drizzle, and if I recall correctly, no one who competed really threw close to their all-time marks. It started to dry out a little bit heading into the finals, but really everyone was just trying to do their best with less than ideal conditions.
Gotcha. Well, and again, it still works. You clinched the All-American status. And so when you heard and found out that you had achieved your end goal, what was running through your head?
Well, so I was, I think I threw myself into seventh place on my final throw, and I had to wait for a couple more throwers to go and see who was going to pass me. One person did pass me, and then I remember the last thrower who was still going, who had a chance to, who was really close enough to catch up. He didn't put together the best throw on his final throw, and I remember it all kind of sunk in suddenly that everything that I was working for had kind of come to fruition, which was it was an amazing feeling that I got to experience with. It felt like all of Gettysburg and the coaching staff. It was just awesome. A great way to cap off 4 years.
Absolutely. I don't think you can get any much higher of honor as getting All-American status in your final event wearing the orange and blue. And so I just wanted to ask you too, how would you describe your overall experience at Gettysburg as a student athlete?
Yeah, I mean, it was honestly a top-notch experience across the board. Coach Shank, Coach Hartzler, they really helped pull together an experience that I don't think is necessarily conventional for a Division III program. I mean, I was competing in Division I meets where possible at big events like the Bucknell Invitational and Penn Relays, fortunately twice. So just not an experience that you can get at many other Division III programs, while also combining that with just an absolutely amazing academic experience, studying physics and really getting to get into the challenging, academically rigorous things that I wanted to do while also participating in sports. I wouldn't replace the experience for anything.
And that just struck another question to ask you. Being a physics major, did you kind of analyze or look at how when you throw or threw the discus for the certain, I'm not a physics person by any means. So did that kind of help you as you progressed throughout your college career as well?
Oh yeah. So I definitely took an analytical approach to discus. Coach Moore, the throws coach, will definitely attest to me being, a film junkie. And I still actually every once in a while see, on YouTube the old videos that'll pop up. But we, exchange video feeds. We'd look through launch angle and speed out of the back of the circle. Everything was about how to put together that perfect throw. So definitely an analytical approach to the throws.
Well, that's awesome. And so since you graduated from Gettysburg in 2016, what have you been up to?
So I have been in the engineering and consulting space for the last, oh gosh, almost 5 years now. And right now I work with a multinational professional services firm. I currently live in Huntsville, Alabama, helping grow our business in the area. And it's been just an absolute blast.
Well, that's awesome. So, Andre, thank you so much for joining us today and taking a trip down memory lane once again throughout your outstanding career at Gettysburg. So, thank you everyone for watching and make sure to tune in next week to see who will be featuring next.